So we'll start with an introductory activity. Here you have brainstorming. I hope you have heard about brainstorming. So I'll just explain. I will ask you a question and you'll have to give your answer. Each one of you have to give your answer. Whether it be right or wrong, you can tell me what you know about that question. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll ask you a question. Each one of you will have to answer that question. It's a simple question. Here is the question. Define a set. Define a set in mathematics. You have a few seconds to think about that. This is a question. Define a set. And I will call upon your names. You'll have to give me you'll have to give me the answer in just one sentence or so. Whether it be right or wrong, you can give the answer. Okay. So I will start with Amina. What do you know by a set? Amina, can you give me the answer?
Set is a collection of numbers or anything.
Okay, so according to, you can give your answer in just few small sentences. So according to Amina, a set is a collection of objects or numbers, right? Okay. So now it's Anu's turn. So according to Anu, what is a set? Can you explain what is a set? Anu, can you hear me? Anu Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so according to you, what is a set?
Set is a collection of objects or numbers.
Okay, so according to Anu, a set is a collection of objects, right? Now, Vinita, according to you, what is a set? So we will write.
Sets collection of things have a common characteristic.
Okay, according to Vinita, it's a collection. It's a collection of things
Which have a common characteristic.
which have a common characteristic. Okay, now it's Christina's turn. Can you tell me what is a set?
Set is a well-defined collection of objects.
Okay, so according to Christina, a set is a well-defined collection of objects, right? Now, David, it's your turn.
Set is a collection of number, things, or object.
Okay, a set is a collection of numbers, things, or objects. Okay, now Jeffrey, it's your turn. Can you tell me? Jeffrey, can you tell me what is a set? Jeffrey, are you there? Can you turn on your mic and please speak? Jeffrey. Joycey, can you tell me what is a set?
A set is a well-defined collection of objects.
Okay, according to Joycey, a set is a well-defined collection of objects. Now, Nikita, it's your turn. Can you tell me what is a set?
Sir, set is a collection of well-defined objects.
Okay, collection of well-defined objects. Pratibha, can you tell me?
Set is a collection of well-defined objects or elements.
Okay, collection of well-defined objects or elements. Okay, Sarika, can you tell me what is a set? Sarika, are you there? Okay, Ashley, can you tell me what is a set?
A set is a well-defined collection of elements.
Okay, a set is a well-defined collection of elements. Okay, so these are your responses which you have given for the definition of a set. You can go through them. And here there are a lot of definitions, and mainly we can classify them as 2 or 3 definitions. And Christina, she told that the definition for a set is a well-defined collection of objects. So can you explain what is well-defined?
I mean by well-defined that it is based on a common characteristics.
Okay. Christina told that well-defined means it's based on some common characteristics. Okay, so now we will come back to our presentation. Before going to the definition of the well-definedness or set, you have an activity. You have to answer me what you observe on the given slides. So you will see some slides here. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here there are some slides. You'll have to identify what are there. Okay, Sariga. Oh, Sariga is not there, I think. Anu, can you tell me what is displayed on the board presentation?
Brainstorm, define a set.
Sorry, can you read that written on the board?
Introductory activity, brainstorming, define a
Presently,
set.
what you are seeing on the board? Presently, what you are seeing on the board?
Vowels, A, I, U.
Yeah, so this is a collection of vowels, right? Here you can see A, E, I, O, U. This is a collection of vowels, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. It's a collection of vowels in the English alphabet. So here you have another collection. Devika, can you tell me what is displayed on the presentation? What is displayed on the board?
The same thing.
Oh, still the same thing?
Yes.
Okay, I think the presentation is a bit slow. What do you see now?
A collection of earrings.
Yeah, very good. You can see a collection of earrings. Okay, here is another slide. Jeffrey, what do you see on the board? Jeffrey, what do you see on the board? Joyce, what do you see on the board?
The types of triangles.
Yeah, it's a collection of triangles. Okay, it's a collection of different triangles. Please turn off your mic. Okay. Amina, can you tell me what you see on the board?
Here now we can see some animals, collection of animals.
Yeah, it's a collection of some wild animals, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can see a collection of wild animals. Pratibha, what do you see on the board? Pratibha, can you explain what is on the board?
Sir, it's same wild animals.
Okay, I think the presentation is a bit slow.
Sir,
Yeah.
4, 6, 8. Even numbers.
Okay, you can see some even numbers 3, 4, 6, 8. Okay, thank you. So you can see a collection of even natural numbers which are less than 10. It's a bit more accurate, and that's why I'm using this sentence. These are the collection of even natural numbers which are less than 10. Only there are 4 numbers, 2, 4, 6, and 8, right? Okay. What you see here, this is another fraction. So, Nikita, what do you see on the board?
A collection of expensive cards.
Okay, it's a collection of expensive cars, or it's a collection of racing cars, or it's just a collection. It's just a collection of cars. Okay, very good. You are right. So far, we have observed a collection of different objects in the different slides, right? Okay, so do you notice any similarities or differences for these collections? Do you notice any similarities or differences on these collections?
Some of them are definite.
Okay, just think about that. I will ask you to each one, just think about that. You have seen, so far you have seen some collections. There are some differences or some similarities for those slides. Before your answer, now I would like to introduce you a concept that is well-defined collection. Some of you have already explained that word in the definition for this set, a well-defined collection. So here's the definition for that. A collection which does not vary from person to person. Do you understand the definition for a well-defined collection? A well-defined collection is a collection which does not vary from person to person. Do you understand the definition for a set? Sorry, for a yeah. That means if a collection is well defined, then the elements does not vary from person to person. That means if I ask you about a particular well-defined collection, Amina will have an answer, and the same answer will be to that of Anu or Ashley, or each one of you will have a same answer. Okay. Or you can give another definition for that. We can definitely decide whether a given particular object belongs to that given collection or not. That means if you pick a particular element, you can definitely decide whether that element belongs to that set or outside that set. Is that concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll come back to those collections. We'll consider the previous collections, and you'll have to classify them as well-defined or not well-defined. Is the activity clear? We'll consider the previous collections. You'll have to classify them as well-defined or not well-defined. Is the activity clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this was the first collection, the collection of vowels in the English alphabet. Binta, is this a well-defined collection or not?
Yes, sir, it's well defined.
Yeah, this collection is a well-defined collection. This collection is a well-defined collection. Why? Binta, can you explain why? What is the reason?
So if this question is asked to anyone, they will tell the same answer. A, I, U itself.
Yeah, the collection of vowels in the English alphabet, the answer is unique. That means we can decide. For example, if you pick an element C, we can say that that element C does not belongs to this collection. And if I choose an element U, then we can clearly see that this element U belongs to this collection. So if I choose any element, we can clearly say whether this element belongs to this collection or does not belongs to this collection. Is that concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we'll move on to the next. So a collection of earrings. So is that a well-defined collection? Is this a well-defined collection? A collection of earrings?
It is not
No.
defined.
No, it's not a well-defined collection. It's not a well-defined collection. Why? Because the collection of earrings vary from person to person or from place to place. It's different. And so this is not a well-defined collection. Okay, what do you see now? Can you see the board? What do you see now? Okay, I will ask Joycey. What do you see on the board? What do you see on the board? Oh, it's the same slide. Okay. What do you see now? What do you see now?
A collection of different triangles.
Yeah, it's a collection of different triangles. So, can you explain? Can you tell me, is this a well-defined collection or not?
So well-defined collection.
Yeah, this is a well-defined collection. Why? Because already there are 6 types of triangles: the equilateral triangle, right triangle, isosceles triangle. They are classified on the basis of angles, and then scalene triangle, acute triangle, and obtuse triangle. So there are mainly 6 types of triangles. So this is a well-defined collection. So we'll move on to the next example: the collection of wild animals. Is this collection a well-defined one? So I will ask Ashley, is this a well-defined collection?
No, it is not a well-defined collection.
No, it's not a well-defined collection. Okay, and the last one, 2, 4, 6, 8. The collection of even natural numbers. Christina, is this a well-defined collection?
Yes, this is a well-defined collection.
Yeah, the collection of even natural numbers which are less than 10, it's a well-defined collection. What's the reason?
The answer is unique. If anyone said, the answer is same.
Yeah, it does not vary from person to person, or can clearly say or definitely say whether an element belongs to this set or not. For example, does the element 3 belongs to this set?
No.
No. Why? Because 3 is an odd natural number, and so it does not belong to this collection. Does the element 11 belongs to this set, this collection?
No.
No. Does the element 6 belongs to this collection?
Yes. 6
Yes.
belongs.
Yeah, and the answer which was given by Christina is same for each one of you. That means for anyone, the answer is same. Does not vary from person to person, and the answer is unique. Anyone who know about this set, this collection, can clearly say whether an element belongs to this set or does not belongs to this set. I hope the concept is clear. Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Sir.
Okay, so now I would like to introduce the concept of sets. A set is a well-defined collection of objects, and this is the appropriate definition for the definition of the set. This is a proper definition for this set. Do you understand that? What do you mean by a set?
Yes.
A set is a well-defined collection of objects. So from here, you must know that not every collection is a set. That means if you have a collection of objects, then you cannot simply say that it's a set. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So a collection of things, it's not generally a set. A collection of elements or collection of objects, it's not generally a set. But a collection of objects is called a set only if it is well defined. Is that clear? A collection of objects is called a set only if it is well defined. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if given a collection, in order to check whether it's a set or not, you have to check whether it is well defined or not. So that word well defined gives a strength or gives a life to that definition set. So I hope you understand what is a set. A set is a well-defined collection of objects. And if a collection is given to you, how you identify that whether it's a set or not? How you identify whether it's a set or not? You'll have to check whether that collection is well-defined or not. If it's well-defined, then we can call that it is a set. And if it's not well-defined, then it is not a set. Is that concept clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now we'll just recall the definitions you have given me during the introductory section, and you can just correct your mistakes. I mean, the definition is a well-defined collection of objects. Hope you can see the board. Are you able to see the board?
Yes.
Okay, so among this, Christina told the right answer, then Joyce told the right answer, Nikita, Pratibha, then Ashley. So congratulations to all of you, most of you, all of you have given a definition, and then you must identify what is wrong with your definition as compared to our exact definition. You have to identify what is wrong with your definition. Okay. For the first one, the definition told by Amina, a set is a collection of objects or numbers. So not every collection is a set, and therefore it's not a set. And we have seen a few examples also, right? Okay. And the definitions, you can go through all those definitions and each one of you can identify what's a mistake in your definition. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll come back to our presentation again. Here is another activity. Check whether the following are sets or no. So far we have been discussing about the well-defined collections. Now we'll check for whether they are sets or no. So you have to check whether it's well-defined or not. It's very easy. Not to check whether a collection is a set or not, you have to check whether it's well-defined or not. The first one, the collection of all months in a year not having 31 days. Okay, so just tell me which are the months in a year not having 31 days. Pratibha, can you tell me which are the months in a year not having 31 days? Is the question clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell me?
February,
Yeah.
February, April, June,
Yeah.
September, November.
Okay, very good. Congratulations to the answer is February, April, June, September, and November. And the point is that is this a set? The main question is this a set?
Yes, it is a set.
Yeah, it's a set. Why? Because
It is
anyone of you who gives you the answer for this question, it's same February, April, June, September, and November, and that answer does not vary from place to place. Also, if a student who is studying mathematics or student who is studying in America or some other state, the question to this answer is the same, right? Okay, this is the next question. A group of two best cricket batsmen of the world. Okay, Joyce, who are your best cricket batsman? Your best cricket batsman according to you?
Sir, I'm not much into cricket, but maybe Sachin and Kohli.
Okay, so according to Joyce, her best cricket batsmen are Sachin and Kohli. Okay. Yeah, it's a set. The answer is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, and it's a set. The answer is unique and it does not vary from person to person, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so next example, famous mathematicians in the world. Your famous mathematicians in the world. Devika, is this a set? Devika, is this a set?
Yes.
Are you sure this is a set?
It may be vary to person to person.
Okay, so according to Devika, who are the famous mathematicians in the world? Can you tell me any two? Any two?
Aryabhatta,
Aryabhatta?
Aristotle.
Okay, Aryabhatta and Aristotle. According to Devika, Aryabhatta and Aristotle are famous mathematicians in the world. So according to Anu, can you tell me two mathematicians, your famous mathematicians or best mathematicians?
Pythagoras.
Yeah, Pythagoras. Okay, so she told another answer. So the question is again to Devika, is this a set? Is this a set?
No.
No. Why? Because the answer varies. The famous mathematicians in the world, if you take the collection, it varies. The answer varies from person to person. Or if I ask you the famous mathematicians or famous 10 mathematicians or the top 10 mathematicians. For example, when we started our class, I called all of you as mathematicians. You all are mathematicians. You all are studying mathematics. And so you all are mathematicians, right? So there's a chance that you can reach up to that height. Now, in the later period also. Okay, so here are some photos for famous mathematicians, just for some entertainment. And then now we'll just record what we have learned in today's class. Okay, so who can recall what you have learned today? What you have learned today?
We studied about set.
Yeah, so first we studied about what? What is the first topic?
We defined the definition of set.
Yeah, no, before that, first we studied some collections, right? We saw about, okay, the introductory section, I asked you to write the definition for a set. And after that, we see some examples for some collections, right? We see some collections, right? Yeah, and later we move on to well-defined collection. First we started with collections and then we move on to well-defined collections. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we started with some collections and then we later move on to well-defined collection, the concept of well-defined collection, and then we move on to the definition of sets. A set is a collection which is well-defined. That means the collections which are not well-defined, it cannot be a set. And so in order to check whether a collection or a given collection is a set or not, we have to check whether it's well-defined or not. If it's well-defined, then surely it's a set. Is that concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you can note down an extension activity, a homework. Can you see that? Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Extension activity, are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have to find 3 examples of sets and then describe its elements. That means what are the elements present in that set? And then another extension activity, 3 examples which are not sets. So you have to find 3 sets as well as 3 collections which are not sets. That means it's very easy. You have to identify any 3 well-defined collections and any 3 collections which are not well-defined. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you have any doubts in today's class? Do you have any doubts in today's class?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Do you have any doubts in? Okay, if you have any doubts, then you can ask me now. We have just learned about the collections, well-defined collections, then the definition of sets. You have any doubts, then you can ask me now. Is the concept clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay then. Okay then, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.